Chosen. One, let your spirit be still and receive this message, not just with your ears, but with your soul. This is not the voice of mere man speaking to you. This is the breath of divine truth echoing through time and space, reaching you in this very moment for a reason. You have been wondering, haven't you? Questioning how you've made it this far when so much has been set against you. There have been battles, some you saw coming, others that blindsided you. People you trusted turned their backs. Powers you feared rose against you, and yet you are still standing, still breathing, still walking forward when by all natural logic you should have fallen. Let me tell you something eternal and unshakable. It was not luck that saved you. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't chance. It was the hand of God, mighty, invisible, unyielding, covering you in moments you didn't even realize you were in danger. The people who plotted against you, those who whispered lies, who moved in shadows, who tried to block what was rightfully yours, they did not escape divine notice. Every scheme, every attack, every twisted word and secret plan was recorded by heaven. God saw it all was so, and now justice is moving. The season of hidden protection is giving way to a season of visible vindication. Those who thought they could manipulate, control, or destroy what God has ordained are discovering a truth they never accounted for, that divine justice is not just real, it is swift, unstoppable, and absolutely final. They believed your failure was inevitable. They believed they held power over your life. But what they didn't know was that you were chosen, handpicked by God Himself, marked with a divine purpose that no human hand can erase. They thought their influence would be enough to silence you. They measured strength by money, by popularity, by power structures of this world. But they forgot something critical, something eternal. No amount of earthly authority can override what heaven has established. What God has decreed, no man can cancel, and now they are beginning to see it. Their plans are crumbling. The pits they dug are opening beneath their own feet. The stones they rolled in your path are rolling back onto them. Just as Proverbs 26:27 declares, "Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them." This isn't karma. This isn't poetic justice. This is the righteous judgment of a holy God. Some are facing shame, others are facing exposure. For a few, the consequences are spiritual, a stripping of peace, a collapse of pride. But for others, the fallout is literal. Legal judgment, broken reputations, public disgrace. And you won't need to retaliate. You won't need to defend yourself, because the Lord your God is defending you. He has already written the script of their downfall. You only need to be still. There is something sacred about your silence. The world may interpret it as weakness, but heaven sees it as obedience. Your refusal to fight fire with fire is not a lack of power. It is the evidence that you trust the one who holds all power. Think of David standing before Goliath armed with nothing but a sling and a stone. The world saw a boy, but God saw a warrior. Goliath mocked, laughed, roared in arrogance. But David said, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts." The battle wasn't David's to win, it was God's. And the same is true for you. Your enemies are not simply fighting you, they are resisting the will of the Almighty, and no one wins against heaven. While they plotted, God was preparing. While they lied, God was writing truth. While they built traps, God was designing their defeat. And now the moment has come. where divine justice is unfolding in ways that leave no doubt this is the work of the Lord. You are still here because you are chosen. You are still standing because heaven decreed you would be. Every time you wanted to quit, something deep inside whispered, "Hold on." That was not your strength, that was not your will. That was God's Spirit anchoring you in the storm. So now, the question is not what your enemies will do next. The question is, will you trust what God is doing right now? Because He is fighting for you. And when God fights, He never loses. The traps they laid will consume them. The lies they spread will return like a windstorm upon their own lives, and the blessings they tried to block will fall upon you like rain. You didn't have to lift a finger. God lifted His hand. Now, before we close, I want to say thank you. Thank you to every single one of you who has supported this channel, especially those of you who've shown love through super thanks and other gifts of encouragement. You make it possible for messages like this to reach the ears and hearts of those who desperately need to hear from God. Your faith, your generosity, and your belief matter. Heaven sees it. So now, beloved, let's go even deeper, beyond the surface of the human understanding into the sacred heart of God's plan for your life, because what is happening around you is not simply random events or earthly resistance. This is spiritual warfare. This is prophecy unfolding. This is the divine collision between what was meant to destroy you and what God ordained to elevate you. Do you know why the enemy fights you so relentlessly? It's not because of who you are right now. It's because of who you are becoming. The enemy sees your potential before the people around you do. He sees the oil on your life, the calling. Written in your spirit, the fire that refuses to be extinguished. He knows if you ever step fully into your purpose, His grip on those around you will break. That's why the attacks have been so intense. That's why the betrayals felt so personal. That's why the opposition came from places you least expected. Because the enemy is desperate. But desperation is a sign of defeat. The devil's greatest mistake was coming for someone who is already covered. He should have walked away when he saw you kneeling in prayer. He should have backed off when he heard you worship through the pain. He should have run when you kept showing up praising God with tears in your eyes and fire in your bones, but now it's too late. Because God is not just protecting you, He is preparing to promote you. Yes, promotion is coming, elevation is coming, but understand this, before every elevation there is separation. God has been removing people from your life, closing doors, shaking foundations, not to punish you, but to preserve you. Everyone can't go where you're going. Everyone can't handle the weight of your calling. Some were never meant to walk with you beyond the season they were assigned to. And now God is making room for peace, room for clarity, room for new connections ordained by heaven itself. You're about to walk into rooms you didn't ask for, speak in spaces you thought were closed to you, and receive favor from people who once overlooked you. Not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God who sees, who hears, who remembers, is aligning the timeline of your destiny with divine acceleration. Do not be surprised when the very people who mocked you come back in awe. Do not be shaken when those who opposed you suddenly fall silent. It's not pride to recognize what God is doing. It's honor, it's testimony. It's evidence that what He started, He will finish. And when you step into this next chapter, carry yourself with grace, but do not forget. Don't forget the nights you cried alone. Don't forget the prayers you whispered in brokenness. Don't forget the silent battles that no one saw but God delivered you from. Because those moments were not wasted. They were building altars. They were establishing history between you and heaven. And now the heavens are responding. You're not just surviving. You're stepping into a season of supernatural recovery. What was stolen will be returned. What was broken will be restored. What was dead will live again. God is about to give you beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and a garment of praise in place of that heavy spirit. You are not just protected, you are appointed. You are not just preserved, you are being prepared. And soon even your enemies will have to acknowledge it. They will look and say, "Surely the Lord is with them." Not because of your wealth, not because of your status, but because of the peace that surrounds you. Because of the favor that follows you. Because of the light that refuses to go out no matter how dark the world becomes. So stand tall, chosen one. Keep walking forward. Keep trusting. Keep praying. Keep praising. You have no idea how close you are to the breakthrough. No idea how much is shifting behind the scenes. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is not still. The angels have been dispatched. The trumpet is sounding. The scrolls are being unrolled. God is moving, and you are exactly where you need to be. This season is not about fighting back. It's about standing still and watching the salvation of the Lord. He is making a spectacle of your enemies. He is exalting you in due time. He is anointing your name with favor. All you must do is believe. Heaven's justice has arrived. The fire that tried to consume you will become the fire that refines you. The flood that came to drown you will lift you to new heights. The enemies that tried to silence you will witness your rise and be confounded, for they were never fighting you. They were warring against the God who never loses a battle. And now, as this word comes to a close, let your heart remain open because the Spirit is still speaking. Thank you from the depths of my heart for joining in this sacred space, this digital sanctuary where God's voice still echoes loud and clear. Your presence matters. Your faith matters, and your support makes all the difference every time you comment, every time you share, every time you sow into this space. You are part of a divine movement greater than anything we can yet imagine. If this word resonated deep within your soul, I invite you now to take a prophetic action. Type Lays 999 in the comments, not as superstition, but as a spiritual declaration. Let it be your agreement with heaven's justice, your alignment with divine timing, your confirmation that you believe God is moving right now on your behalf. And if you haven't already, take a moment to like this message. Click subscribe and join this family of chosen ones, believers walking in light, truth, and spiritual fire. You are not just a viewer. You are part of a remnant, a generation rising in righteousness and revival. Chosen one. This message was for you. You are seen, you are loved, you are protected, and your best is not behind you. It is unfolding even now. Heaven fights for you, and your victory is sealed.